As a longtime fan of action-packed movies, I have to admit that I was initially intrigued by the idea of Jason Statham taking on the role of Tommy Shelby in Peaky Blinders. However, after giving it some thought and considering his acting history, I believe that he would not have been the best fit for this iconic. Jason Statham has very little to grumble about in terms of his career. For nearly 3 decades, he's been a leading star in numerous blockbuster films, earning him a place among Hollywood's most adored actors. Although much of his success can be attributed to America, he remains fiercely British, retaining a large portion of his accent, even when the roles demanded slight adjustments. Due to his reluctance to change his voice, many screenwriters and directors often write characters for him that have British roots. It's no surprise that Jason Statham was among the top choices when Stephen Knight, the creator of Peaky Blinders, was seeking an actor to portray Tommy Shelby, the crime boss turned politician. Despite not having any previous TV roles, Statham appeared to be the perfect fit for a tale that intertwines 1920s English history with the gritty reality of the underworld, making him an ideal frontman for the show. After all, he had a big name. On top of that, he played semi-criminals in geezer gangster Brit flicks. Like and during the casting journey, series creator Stephen Knight also considered Cillian Murphy an actor who wasn't quite A-list, but had strong potential. Murphy would eventually win the Battle of Birmingham, but he had to fire an extra cannonball to ensure victory. Jason Statham was Stephen Knight's first choice for Thomas Shelby. In conversation with Esquire, Stephen Knight shared that he spoke with both actors to determine which one resembled a 1900s gangster the most. And it was clear to him that we were seeing the most. I encountered them both in Los Angeles to discuss the role, and ultimately chose Jason. One factor influencing my decision was that Jason himself is exactly as he appears. But Cillian, however, may not seem like the character he portrays. And I unfortunately failed to grasp this. As a passionate cinephile, I was eagerly anticipating the unfolding of events. Over the subsequent years, I envisioned Jason Statham embodying an exceptionally captivating character on our screens, a role where he pilfers a stockpile of government armaments and engages in garden chat with Winston Churchill, no less. A character who endures various perils, from a Jewish gangster who imitates biblical crucifixions to an Italian-American mob boss seeking vengeance, yet manages to emerge victorious. Regrettably, these scenarios never materialized on the big screen. In a moment where he feared missing out on a potentially career-defining opportunity, Cillian Murphy decided to break the "we'll call you" rule. Later on, he sent Knight a text, keeping his message straightforward. While this move might have ruffled feathers for other producers and directors, Knight immediately understood his intention. Despite the unassuming demeanor that Cillian presented in person, he had a knack for morphing into any character, a talent evident in his previous work. Peaky Blinders doesn't suit Jason Statham's persona after he actually says, Jones, can't, Mom, were, met, clue, no fucking fighting. In general, he follows the same rule throughout the series, except for rare instances, such as when he pursues Luca Changretta in a cat and mouse game, reminiscent of Coyote and Roadrunner, through the chaotic back streets of Birmingham. For the most part, he presents himself as a man who avoids unnecessary violence. His victories are often won mentally, and when necessary, he delegates dangerous tasks to his subordinates. This is how one might expect a crime lord to act. Shift. However, one wonders if Statham would have pulled off this portrayal so convincingly. This high-profile Hollywood star isn't typically recognized for his work in dramatic roles. Instead, he tends to speak less and deliver more. Physical action. This is what viewers have grown accustomed to from him, and undoubtedly, this was their expectation here as well. If they were subjected to extended periods without any significant action, they might have felt disappointed or even frustrated. As a result, the show may have lost many of its audience members throughout its run. According to Knight's observation, Statham exudes a powerful presence, but there's a charm in Tommy Shelby that makes him seem less threatening. Opponents often misjudge him, thinking they can challenge him without fear. However, this overconfidence always comes back to haunt them. There's no denying that Statham would have looked good in a suit and a Baker Boy hat, but he is no Tommy Shelby dessert. And like Tom Hardy, he might have been better off playing one of the villains or anti-heroes in the show. It's quite a shame that he was never cast in another role. The so success proves Knight made the right choice. The casting decision for a lead actor can make or break a show, and the success of Peaky Blinders proves Cillian Murphy was the right choice. He delivered a potent, critically acclaimed turn as the crusty and calcitrant criminal, making it hard to see any other person in the role. If Murphy learned one thing during the audition stage, it was how to turn underestimation into triumph. With the actor at the helm, the British crime drama became so popular that Netflix snapped up the rights to release it around the world and funded a 6th season as well as a finale film. Additionally, the show constantly received numerous accolades from all award organizations across the United Kingdom. As Murphy pointed out, Statham is indeed an actor, though some might argue he's known for his one-dimensional roles. Interestingly, he managed to win an Oscar in his debut lead role in a significant Hollywood film. It's important to note that throughout his career, Statham has only been nominated for 4 awards, and two of those were Razzies. While Statham certainly has the capability to star in a gangster series if he chooses, it seems he is better suited for action-packed crime dramas, like rather than not, conflict and receive. That's like use procedure. The latter is typically more appealing to viewers who appreciate complex, well written shows. It's intriguing to follow Cillian Murphy's career trajectory moving forward. Unlike some other famous crime drama actors whose fame wanes post series finale, Murphy seems to be bucking the trend and heading in the opposite direction. His success with the film Oppenheimer indicates that we haven't yet witnessed his full potential scaled. Here's hoping he continues to secure quality roles, but it might be time for him to upgrade his representation from text messages to a professional agent. Is available to stream in the US on Netflix.